Woo woo, let's try this again. Happy Monday, guys. Happy market update. Let's go live on Insta and then we'll get the party started. All right. Okay. Welcome, guys, to Market Update. Today, I really don't have a lot of crazy things for you. I kind of just wanted to just chit chat about how I'm feeling about the real estate market, but also give you some stats. So, one, let's talk about the difference between list price versus sales price. So, this is for my sellers. So many people will call me and be like, "Hey, Keyra, I see Susie Q down the street selling her house for 550, and I think my house looks better than hers. I want to put my house on the market for 600,000." And I'm like, "Well, that's really great. I'm great that Susie Q is doing that." But when I actually run the numbers and I see when Susie Q's house actually sells, because remember, Texas is a non-disclosed state, you won't know what the actual home sold for. You'll only know what it was listed for. So listed just means that this is the price that the seller is hoping to get. Sales price is what the actual home sold for. And right now there's so much opportunity for buyers. So I was talking to my sellers for a second, but there's so much opportunity for buyers right now because of so many people are not actually getting their list price. They're selling for not a lot below, but quite a bit below. So that is opportunity to walk into a property with equity. And so what I've been doing is I've been sending out something that's called a 3-up. So if you're a past client or if I have you in my database, you will get a 3-up from me that will give you an update of the 3 homes that are closest to your size of a home, and telling you what they sold for versus what they listed for, just in case you are curious about selling. So let's talk about some stats, and then I'll tell you guys how I'm feeling about what's going on in the real estate world. So let's see. I'm not going to buy. Let's see. So June numbers have just officially come out since we're in July now, and last month it's 5%. It was a 5% decrease in pending sales, which we're going to really see that in July. So if in June sales were down about 5%, that means we'll really feel it in July. And I'll tell you this, I mean, I have like 3 listings about to come on the market, which I'm super grateful for. Pricing and selling is, I feel like a lot of people are unsure. There's a lot of uncertainty, but let's be honest, no one has tomorrow promised. So I feel like uncertainty is something that we all should kind of be used to by now. But I think since it's an election year, I think a lot of people just don't know what to do or how to move. So what I would encourage you is, if you're somebody who is looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, talk to someone, talk to a professional, so we can at least see where you are, so we can get you to where you want to be. Because a 5% decrease in pending sales, which means that there was less people writing contracts last month, which means that there's going to be less homes that are going to be sold this month. It's kind of odd. Like, I feel like inflation last week, if you jumped on, inflation got a little better. I will say this, like I say every week, you can't outsave inflation. So if you are somebody who is desiring home ownership, get in while there's opportunity. And right now, since there is so much opportunity in new construction, which I believe I talked about that last week, is new construction has so many incentives. They're discounting. I literally just got a message from DR Horton, one of their communities. Oh, Jake wants to say hi. He wanted to make his preview. His birthday is on Wednesday, guys, too. So my baby he gonna be officially a teenager. He's going to be 2 in human years, but 14 in dog years. Okay. And every dog deserves a backyard, guys. So if you have a pup and you don't have a backyard, you need to get with it. Okay. Okay. No, this is not Jake's show, though, baby. Go ahead. Give mommy some time, baby. Give mommy some time. Okay. So what was I saying? I forgot. But basically, there is opportunity when it comes to new construction because they are giving their price dropping, or they're giving you a lot of incentives, or they're giving you a low interest rate that they're paying for. And remember, when you do go and decide to buy new construction, you still want a real estate agent because one, they pay us, the builder pays the agent or the broker, versus you having to pay for them. Things are going to start changing come August the 17th. There's some things and there's some rules that are going to be changing because the real estate market has just really, it's going to take a quote unquote a dip. I don't think so. I think everything's going to be the same. But right now, since we have some lawsuits that were going on with real estate, people are freaking out. But if you've been doing business how you're supposed to do business in real estate, everything will feel the same. So if you did decide to buy new construction, it wouldn't come out of your pocket, it would come out of the builders. Okay. Let's see. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, last month, average mortgage, like your mortgage monthly payment went down $100. So what that means is one, your monthly payments are getting, more affordable. Two, interest rates right now have hovered a little lower than sevens. Like this week, it's in the sixes, so that's good. And then three, so many people are walking in with equity. I'm telling y'all, once election's over with, everybody and their mama's gonna be trying to jump in the market, trying to get a house, trying to get all this stuff, but prices are gonna be back up. Interest rates might have dropped by then because right now we're predicting, like we said, in September for them to maybe go down. And go down is like 6.9% interest. So it's not that significant of a down. Let's see. What else do I want to tell you guys? I feel like that's really it. Now let's just talk about real estate in general. So I get so many people, one, who want to get into real estate. And then two, I get a lot of people who they desire a property, but they really haven't done the right steps to get there. So I want to encourage the people who are like, home ownership is for me. I do have an event coming up September 14th. It's a future homeowner brunch. It's gonna be at my parents' restaurant. Come out, you can eat, drink, and we're gonna fill you up physically, but also fill you up with a lot of knowledge to give you the right steps to be able to purchase a property. That'll be September 14th. I believe it's like from, I guess, 12 to 2. I got to go back to the Eventbrite. I haven't really advertised it just yet. But if you're one of those people who have just been sitting on the sidelines, my question to you is why? Why have you been sitting on the sidelines? Is it interest rate? Is it because your credit score is not good? Is it because you don't have enough savings? Um, like, let's talk about it because there's so many different strategies for each scenario. And I think that a lot of people, I tell my clients, closed mouths don't get fed. Like, I can't help you if I don't know what your struggle is. And so if you're one of those people who have constantly said every year home ownership, but it doesn't seem like you actually do it, DM me, reach out to me, schedule a strategy session. They're free. I walk you through it. I hear your story. Like, that's the best part about real estate. I get to hear so many people's stories and I get to impact so many people's lives, just helping them really navigate this space of investment. You can invest in stocks, you can do an investment through life insurance. There's so many ways where you can invest, but I don't know, buying real estate gives you a sense of pride because it's tangible. Like, you can live in it or you can rent it out. And so if you're one of those people who are discouraged, I hope that I have encouraged you to just talk to someone. We can't help you if we don't know your situation. Okay. And then I wanted to also encourage my sellers. Yes, things are different. Pricing has, like, if you're not pricing your property right, your house is sitting. Days on market has gone up 5 more days than it did last month. I think in May, days on market was like 35, and now I feel like they're like 42, 41 days on market. So things are sitting a little longer. And the only reason why they won't sit long is if you price it right. So do not chase the market, let the market chase you. So, you should have an agent that is telling you, hey, this is where your house is sitting at price wise. this is where you should actually list it at, because we're going to factor in giving some concessions, like actually have someone who's walking you through a true strategy. And then, of course, not only that, you want to make sure someone's marketing your house well, because even though back in the day, the saying used to be location, 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 it still is that when it comes to real estate, but it's also exposure, exposure, exposure. The more you have someone who's out here advertising for you, putting that house out there, the better. So, and I know last week I did talk about how I am going to put a little bit more new construction tours out with their incentives. It's just because there are so many incentives. Like there's so much opportunity when it comes to new construction. I low key feel like I want to go buy a new construction, but I keep telling myself my next investment is going to be more of in January timeframe for my birthday. And I really want a duplex versus a single family home. But there's just you got to figure out what your what your long-term goal is. Is it just to get a property to kind of sustain not having things go up so much like rent is going up? You can kind of sustain of where your payment's going to be. Or is it because you want to get in, you want to build legacy wealth or legacy, is it legacy wealth? Oh, generational wealth. I like to say legacy wealth now, because, or you want to bring, you want to build legacy, because so many people say generational wealth. They're just like wearing that out for me. So now I'm just like, I want to create legacy. I want to be able to pass something on to my kids, my nieces, my nephews. I can't pass it on to Jake. So, what is your long-term goal? Is it to create that legacy? Is it to have 10 doors? Is it to get 5 doors and then open up a property management company? I actually have a client that wants to do that. Is it to own an apartment community? So I can't help you unless you tell me what exactly your strategy is. But that's the fun thing about this career that I'm in. And I also mentioned how so many people want to get into this career. I'm going to tell you this. This is not for the faint of hearts, guys. I have, oh, hey, Keyra, has new construction listing. Okay, awesome. So I just had someone jump on talking about how new construction listings have 4.99% for a 30-year fix. And this is like a sales rep. So like, that's what I'm telling you guys. It's so important. And I need to come out there, John, to do a video tour and tell them all the incentives of what's going on. New construction is where, to me, new construction is where the biggest opportunity is right now. Now, next month it might be back pre-sale homes or pre-loved homes. So the market is volatile. Let's just say that it's always changing. And that's why I get on here weekly giving you stats. But what I've realized is I give you guys stats, and sometimes I'm like, I think I'm talking real estate terms, and I feel like a lot of the things I say kind of just go right over your head. So today I wanted just to kind of sit down and act as if like you're sitting at the table with me. We're drinking a good glass of water and we're just talking about real estate. And that's why I kind of wanted to touch base on becoming a realtor, because today alone I've had like 2 people reach out to me and was like, hey, Keyra, I would love to join your real estate, like how to become a realtor program. Can you sign me up? And I think people like the idea of, sorry, I have so many distractions going on over here. I think a lot of people like the idea of becoming a realtor, but when you become a realtor, you have to realize you have to take ownership, and not just ownership of like, helping people buy and sell. You have to take ownership of, this is your business. And by this being your business, you have to play every department. So, when you go into these department stores, they have all these different departments. Like they have a marketing team, they have a clothing department, they have a shoe department, they have like all these departments. When you start into real estate, you are every department. I do my own social media, so I got to come up with my own brand stuff. I have to do my own graphics. Now, I will say I usually pay out for a graphic to be done. You also have to write your contracts. I have a transaction coordinator who's awesome. I did just let go of my EA, which is my executive assistant. I am in the process of getting a cyberbacker now, which I'm excited about. But you have to be every single department. So many people get into this and they think it's going to be easy. They open doors, they're cute, sweetheart. It's more than just that, because if it was just about being cute and opening doors, I would be over here making it rain like no other. Hello. But that isn't necessarily all of it. You got to know your stuff too. Like, this is a skill-based market. You know, if you got into this business when everyone was getting into real estate, which is like the pandemic times, you could be standing on the corner saying, I'm a real estate agent. People be like, help me buy a house, help me sell a house. Now things are going back to a normal market, which means if you don't actually have skill, if you don't actually know how to negotiate, if you don't actually know how to market, if you don't actually know how to go lead gen and get business, there's going to be a lot of people getting out of real estate. And so it's a sad, but also a good thing too. It's good because I'll take their market share. Great. I'm happy to be able to help more families. But then it's sad because it's like, you know, really 96 now, it's 86% of people who get into real estate fail within their first year. And people don't realize that it's a very high failure rate in real estate. And so I'm just here to encourage you, if you do want to get into real estate, if real estate is something that you desire and it's something that has been on your heart, but it's not something that you just saw on HGTV, because that ain't the same as what we actually do. This is a very, first off, it's emotional type of business too. Like, I feel like I really go to bat for my clients. My clients become like my friends. Jake, baby, Jake wants to be on camera so bad. We're thinking about getting him a show because he's doing too much. But there's a lot that we have to put up with. There's sometimes, like, I've had it where I've shown clients multiple properties, like I would say like 10, and usually takes about 7 properties. Ouch, Jake, takes about 7 properties to actually find the one. But I've shown a client as high as 32 houses before we found the one, and they were able to like actually make an offer and get it accepted. And I've also had where I've shown like 15 to 20 houses, and the client's like, hey, I actually want to I've decided I just want to rent. So you really have to, like, I always tell people, you know, you got to have, it's just not for everyone. It's not for the faint of hearts. It surely will test your faith. I say this too. If you want to get into real estate, if you want to like be in an industry that tests your faith and like really helps you be the best that you can be, it's real estate, because your business grows to the extent that you do, and people will test you. People will use and abuse you and just spit you out. So it's so important to do it because you love it, not just because you're looking for a paycheck. And that's kind of what I see. I see people get into it because they think it's so much money in it, which, don't get me wrong, it is. Anything in sales doesn't have a cap, but you only make money up to the extent of what you're willing to work. So if you're not willing to work hard to get to the status of where you want to be, I've been working out. These arms are looking good too. Then you will find yourself feeling like this isn't fulfilling. So you got to make sure you're doing this for the right reasons. So that's kind of my encouragement for you guys today. I didn't have as many stats. Next week, I definitely will have a couple more stats, but I want to make sure I'm breaking down things for you to actually digest them. It's not like going right over your head, because I don't do these lives just because I like to hear myself talk. I do these lives because I really want to inform you. I truly want to make sure that you are in a place where you can thrive if you decide to get into this game of real estate, either as a realtor or as an investor. And when you buy a property, you're an investor, because you could typically sell it, and when you sell it, you will make a profit. Now, if you stay in it for the amount of time that you need to, and most people stay in their property for at least 5 to 7 years. I would say as of late, it's probably been like 3 to 4, just because families are outgrowing their house pretty quick. All right, we got another question that says, is Addison a good area for family? I believe Addison is a really good area for family. I will say that the average price point over here is a little bit higher. I think that you can find other places that are just as family oriented, that's a little bit more affordable. But I think the biggest con, like the biggest thing that people don't like about Addison is school district, because Addison has Dallas School District, and a lot of people don't necessarily love Dallas ISD. I see a lot of families love Garland because you can do a school of whatever your choice is. I am a firm believer that Fort Worth is for people who are getting into the game. It's very affordable. It's still family oriented. It's still being developed out there. So I really do my best to try to get people to be open to going to Fort Worth. Another area that I feel like is family oriented, if we're not going north or if we're going more south, I think Grand Prairie is so good. Like, especially in that area where you have like the pickleball area, like what is the name of it? Like they just like, they're really developing in that little Grand Prairie area that I'm like, ooh, now school districts might not be amazing. I think it really just depends on what school districts you are accustomed to when it comes to good area for a family. Because I also have a client that she doesn't really want to pay for private school, but if she pays for private school, she wants to be in an area that she doesn't necessarily have to pay as high dollar for, because private school is going to cost and they plan on having more kids. So it really just depends on, where you are and what is good to you. That's the same thing I tell my clients when they're like, "Ooh, I want a spacious backyard. Oh, I need a big kitchen." I'm like, "Okay, what does big mean to you? What does spacious look like to you?" Because that is different for every person and every family. And especially, I don't know what you're accustomed to, because there's some areas that I don't feel comfortable in, and there's certain areas that other people feel great in. So it really just depends on you. So but anywho, guys, I trust that this has brought you value. If you guys have any questions that you guys would like me to answer, I would love if you would like put them in the comments. Like this week, put them in this comments, and then next week I will address them. Last week we had a lot of questions. I like that. The more questions you have, the better, because I want it to be a conversation. I'm a teacher, but I'm not trying to sit up here and lecture you guys. I want it to really feel like, hey, this is a friend talking to a friend, because that's what I believe I am. So, anyways, it's your favorite real estate cheerleader, aka your favorite Dallas realtor, and I am out. Peace. I'll see you guys next week. If you need me, hit me up on a strategy session or DM me, and my number's in all the comments. So you can always shoot me a text. Till next time. Bye.